Well, hello everyone, it's Pete here. So I thought I'd do a review video of the Tamiya heavy dump truck, which is on the GF-01 four-wheel drive chassis. I'll also be showing you the modifications I've done to this compared with the standard build. But first up, I've done a little speed test with this, so let's have a look. Okay, so the setup for this is it's got a 3,500 kV brushless set, which is the Tamiya thrust combo. Well, to be precise, it's 3,421 kV. And I've got a 2S LiPo battery in here. Also, I've got the 20 tooth pinion. You've got a choice of the 18 tooth that comes with the kits or a 20 tooth. You might notice I'm running it with the chrome wheels. The only reason being is that the tyres on those wheels haven't got the spikes, because I don't want to wear down the spikes of the standard tyres. It's worth saying this isn't the sort of kit you buy for major top speeds. It's fairly low geared. So yes, 22 miles per hour, not bad for something like this. And I'll talk more about the performance of this in the review part of the video. Okay, so on to the modifications that I've done to this compared to the standard build. I have covered a lot of this in the 3 build videos that did this, and also there was a separate video to show how you can use a lunchbox bumper on this, which is much stronger than the standard one. So as mentioned on the speed test bit, I've got a brushless combo in this, and also put a steel 20 tooth pinion. You need one that's 0.6 module. Also, I put these sidebars on. Now, these bars are included in the kit, but they're not part of the standard build, because you do need to do a little modification to the rear body post to make them fit. So I think these give a nice chunky appearance to the truck. Also gives a bit of protection to the servo on the side there. And there's another advantage, which I'll show you on my other GF-01. Right, okay, so on this one, it actually broken one of the rear body posts, and so I was a bit stuck as to what to attach that to attach the body. And so I attached the sidebar there, and then the body post attached to that. So yeah, it's a bit more flexible than these are. These are quite hard plastic, and so if you land on its roof too many times, you might break one of those. But I say these sidebars are nice and flexible, and having broken that body post, this went straight on. You know, all you've got to do at the front is to take the screw out, put the sidebar on, and then put the screw in through that. Just get yourself a bit of a longer M3 screw. And for the side where the post was still there, you do have to trim it down. I'll just show you. Okay, so you can see I've just cut away the little arm there that's attached to the chassis, so it'll fit the bar there. Just need to take a little bit out the bottom of the bar there. Just this plastic's very soft, so you can just trim that with a knife. So just fettle that until it fits. So I've done the same thing here on the dump truck. I don't quite understand why Tamiya didn't incorporate these into the design, really. So an advantage of using the sidebars with the dump truck here is that it's got this sort of hook part here, which attaches the cab section to the chassis, and that will come unhooked after you roll it over several times. But with this sidebar, it helps to sort of keep that hooked into place properly, but you can still detach this if you need to, and you know, take the body pins out and hinge that up. Are you helping, Richie? So I replaced the friction shocks that came with the kit with these Tamiya mini oil shocks. Gives a much softer ride. Also, I thickened the oil and went down to the piston top with only the one hole in. So to start with, I was using the kit springs, which are these, which are still a bit too hard for the weight of this kit, and it was still a bit bouncy. So I'll show you the previous drop test. So these springs these are the ones that go with the Tamiya mini shocks generally. So I've got some of these, and it's a bit softer now, which I think is more appropriate for the weight of this truck. So let's just try a new drop test. So you can see it's still a little bit bouncy. I think the trouble is they're not very long. I mean, there's only that much travel, so you're never going to get a soft landing like a truck with great big long shocks. But I think that's about as good as I can get this. I mean, it is supposed to be a fun sort of bouncy kind of roly-poly truck. So anyway, I'm happy with how it is now. So what I think should happen with an off-road truck is if you press the suspension, where it comes to rest should be below the top of the travel of the spring, so it should sort of sit somewhere in the middle. If it's sitting right on the top, I think the suspension is too hard for off-road, so I think it should sort of rest somewhere in the middle there, and this does now. So you can see a bit easier on my Yeti here what I'm talking about, because it's got nice long shocks, so where the suspension tends to rest is somewhere in the middle there, so it's got more travel downwards and more travel upwards as well, and it tends to sort of rest somewhere in the middle. What you don't want is so much damping actually that you push it down, it sort of crawls up or sort of sticks down. So there's a bit of a balance between the amount of damping you have and the strength of the springs, but sort of get a feel for it, and yeah, that feels pretty good. Also, I think you should be able to pick up one wheel and it can press the spring most of the way before the other wheels leave the ground. I have got a battery in this, so it's the weight that it would be while it's running. So yeah, I'm sort of happy that's about right now. Okay, so that's about all the mods. Now let's move on to the review. So is this worth you spending your hard-earned money on? In short, yes it is, but it depends what kind of thing you're after. If you're after something to go around corners quickly on grass and everything, then probably you want a buggy, but if you want to do sort of this kind of thing off-road and sort of just messing about, then this is really good fun. Now, I haven't actually seen anyone speed test this with the standard brushed motor. At a guess, I'd say it would go about 12 miles per hour, which is probably okay for a smaller space. This is a bit of a handful on brushless, to be honest, but yeah, it's amusing sort of trying to control it. You could just use this with the standard kit motor and have it sort of like a trail truck. I mean, it's quite versatile, and being four-wheel drive, it doesn't get stuck too much. So yeah, I mean, it's not a crawler, hasn't got sort of very soft suspension as we were previously saying, but it's pretty good. It can go over most ground, and as I say, it's good fun. It's a bit like a four-wheel drive lunchbox, and that can only be a good thing. I was trying to decide if I like this or the lunchbox better. I can't quite decide really. They've both got different and amusing handling characteristics. So I think you'd be happy with either of those kits, but check out the build videos I've done of both to decide. Another alternative to this would be the Kong head, which is a bit more stable because being longer it doesn't sort of wheelie so much, and it's better at getting up slopes. A little bit more expensive, but that's also a great kit. I haven't broken this one as yet, apart from the bump which I previously discussed. So it's tough, and I know from my previous GF-01 the gearboxes go on and on. I have replaced the pinion, as I said, with the metal one, the steel one, rather than the aluminium one, but other than that, the gears do last a very, very long time. So this truck gets a big thumbs up from me. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.